Hello everyone, and welcome back to this week's eggs. If you remember last week, I had 9 dozen eggs in the refrigerator. The week prior to that, they had brought them up to the farmer's market, which was the very first week of the farmer's market, and only sold a couple dozen of my eggs. So after washing them last week, we had 9 dozen, and that first week at the farmer's market, like I said, is pretty slow. Anyway, last week, they were set at $3 a dozen, and all 9 dozen sold, and it didn't take till the end. They sold pretty fast. So anyway, with the money from selling the eggs, $27, that'll pay to feed as many chickens as I have for probably 2.5 weeks, and that's only 1 week, 2 weeks for sure, depending on how much they're eating. And that's only 1 week out of the month, so that's not bad. Oh, so out on the hobby farm, it's been kind of a tragic week here, sort of. You know, last week we were talking about butchering the turkeys and just the fact of, do you have a petting zoo or do you have a hobby farm, you know? And so this week, my main tom turkey dies. Just all of a sudden. Now that, it could have been old age. I actually bought that tom from an outside party. I bought 1 hen and 1 tom from those people, and that was a couple years ago, and I don't know how old they were, but anyway, he was dead, and that sucks because we were just talking about butchering them, put them in the freezer, and I've been thinking about doing that for about a month, and if I would have done it when I thought about it, instead of having them eat food that whole time and now die, he weighed almost 40 pounds, and now, you know, it's no good. So I lost that. Last night when I was doing chores, I was going through, and then one of the last birds to do is the quail. I had 3, now I'm down to 2. Now I'm down to 1. I went out there, and one of them was inside the water bucket, dead. I mean, they've been drinking out of that water bucket for a long time. I don't know how it slipped in there, how it couldn't swim out. So now I'm down to 1 quail, and that doesn't do me any good at all either. So I don't know. It's just been kind of a rough week on the old hobby farm. So now, like I said, I've got now just the 2 turkeys, and my 1 main tom is the one that died. This one here, I have 1 tom and 1 hen. The tom is one that I hatched, and it has kind of a bad leg. That just happens when they hatch, but he grows fine, he seems fine, so I've always let him be. I don't think he can mount her, though. So anyway, it's done. These 2 are going to be going in the freezer for sure. One thing I also learned, when you're getting turkeys and you're going to raise them on your hobby farm, and I'm thinking, okay, I'm going to hatch them, I can sell the babies or whatever. And in reality, after a whole year goes by here, what I really want is just some turkeys to put into the freezer. And buying the Bourbon Reds, they're a slow grower, they're a nice turkey, they taste good, but I could have bought a bronze-breasted or a white-breasted. They would have grown much faster. You don't have to feed them as long before you can put them in the freezer. And in here, like I said, I just have the 1 quail, so I don't know what I'm going to do. I'm still debating if I want to get some more of the snowflake quail. You know, I've raised them up. I liked raising those, and they all went into the freezer, and they tasted delicious. So I might do that again. I'm not sure, because I don't want to just have 1 lonely quail. I have a great short little video I'm going to post after this one. Just a cell phone video, but that cell phone takes fairly good video anyway. Anyway, remember I had the male and female Muscovy, the hen and the drake in the cage, and 2 of them that were out. Well, that was that way for over a week. And anyway, I opened up the door and just let them out because I wasn't getting any. I was hoping that then I would be able to find where they're laying eggs. It just finds out that they're just not laying me any eggs right now. Anyway, they got out, and those 2 males fought for dominance. And I'm not going to tell you who won, but it was a pretty good show. Otherwise, with all my chickens, it's got hot today, almost 90 degrees. That's hot for Minnesota. And very humid. So, but I still have had pretty decent egg production, so we'll see if it goes, you know, down at all. Tomorrow's supposed to be hot again. Okay, so totally I got 72 eggs this week and 1 turkey egg. But I broke 2 of the eggs when I was washing them, so I'm too short on this dozen. But remember last week we had 4 that were extra, that were left over. So I'll take 2 of these and put it in here. That leaves me 2 eggs to eat. I've got some old ones in there that I eat that aren't even washed. So anyway, for the farmer's market this week, we have 6 dozen eggs. Thanks a lot for watching, everybody. We'll see you guys on the next video.